This is video 21, Advaita Vedanta, Non-Dual Monism as taught by Sri Ramana Maharshi. Paradox of realization. Someone asks Sri Bhagavan, if I also is an illusion, I in the sense ego is also is an illusion, who then casts off the illusion? Very relevant question. Because we understand that the ego or the mind is the obstacle. But we start with the mind only, ego only. So someone asks, if I, within quotes, I also be an illusion, who then casts off the illusion? Sri Maharshi says, the I, within quotes, casts off the illusion of I and yet remains as I. I'll repeat the sentence. The I, within quotes, the I, which is here, he means ego. Okay. The I casts off the illusion of I and yet remains as I. This is what is very important, because he says, such is the paradox of realization. I will read it again. The I casts off the illusion of I and yet remains as I. Such is the paradox of self-realization. The realized do not see any contradiction in it. Take the case of bhakti. I approach Ishvara and pray to be absorbed in him. I then surrender myself in faith and by concentration. What remains afterwards? In that place of original I, perfect self-surrender leaves a residuum of God in which the I is lost. This is the highest form of bhakti, he says. He calls it para bhakti, surrender or the height of vairagya. This is from Talks 28. Talks 28. Sometimes we imagine the ego or the mind is separate and Atma is separate. No, in Tamil he said Ahandayin Moolam Atma, which means the source of the ego or the mind is Brahman itself, the self itself, Atma itself. So such is the mixed condition. In a way, we can say that right now the confusion is because the pure consciousness is mixed with an object of consciousness. Mind is the object of consciousness, and mind has it has got all the story to tell you that I have a body, and the body will tell all the stories that I see the world, I am separate and all that. So here the ego, the word ego, as I already said, does not mean the psychological sense of ego, conceited person. No, it means the very identification of the Atma with the body. I say I am Sentivel, I am this body. That is ego. So we start out with the mind only, with the intellect only, the ego only. But slowly, when we seek ourselves, the I discards, casts off the non-I and remains as pure I. This is what he says. And another important thing he says is that the intellect is used as a punishing rod. See, after all, what you call mind, in Advaita Vedanta, they say mind is of 4 components. Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta. Mano is that part of the mind which cannot take decisions. Buddhi, intellect, is determinative faculty. It is that which makes decisions, which analyzes and makes decisions. And Ahankara is the centralizing function. Whatever happens to this body or mind, it will say, it happened to me. I did it. And then Chitta is the storehouse of memory. Now the intellect is contained within that. It is said that intellect is the closest to Atma. Intellect is used as a punishing rod, says Sri Bhagavan. Whenever a thought arises, you use this punishing rod to hit it. Go back. Where do you arise from? What is the birthplace? Whenever a thought arises, we use the intellect as the punishing rod to hit it and drive it back to the source. So this is the process. Whenever a thought arises, we inquire which is the birthplace of this thought. What is the root of all thoughts? The root of all thoughts is the I thought. I am the body sense. Then we inquire which is the birthplace of this I thought. where from does this I thought arise? Then the I thought goes and submerges, merges and dissolves into what we truly are. It is our true nature, Brahman.